If you like music, if you like rap and hip-hop, and you know anything about the Israeli music scene, then you definitely know my next guest. He changed the music game in Israel when he started his career around 20 years ago, bringing rap and hip-hop in Hebrew to the ears of Israeli youth. And since then, there's no stopping him. So for those who don't know him, Kobi Shimoni or Subliminal.
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, everything's good. I have to say happy birthday because it's your birthday today.
Thank you very much.
So amon mazal tov.
Thank you.
So we're just gonna kick it off for the people that don't know you. Tell us a little bit about how you started your music career and when you knew it was gonna be like a career for you.
First of all, I'm so excited to be here today.
Yes.
I started my music career a long time ago. I don't know if you can call it a career. I mean, first time I grabbed the microphone and really sang in front of an audience, it was in my brother's bar mitzvah. I was 7 years old. Then I busted a little breakdance move. It's either that or epileptic, I don't know what, but everybody stood around and clapped their hands, so I guess they enjoyed it.
You're like, I guess I'm doing something right here, maybe we should start this.
I'm onto something.
Yeah.
I mean, I really got into music because I had something to say. I had a message I wanted to deliver. So I started writing text, and it was, in the beginning, it was in English.
Right.
I guess by the age of 13, 14, I really dedicated most of my time into writing my rap, and it usually had to do with Israeli day-to-day life, with Israeli reality, conflict.
Anything, issues, things like that.
All the issues.
Yeah.
And when I saw that my parents and my family is all excited and all like, who wrote this?
Yeah.
And did you think about that? So I figured that, yeah, I'm onto something really good. Thing is, I never really believed in doing it in Hebrew because I always thought that Hebrew language won't flow the same way as English. So I even recorded all in my home studio that I built myself, but I recorded and really put all my energy into English. So this is why I can't really call it a career, because as you can see and hear, my English is cool
Perfect.
enough.
Are you guys hearing anything different? Because I'm not hearing anything different.
Okay.
You're like, but for me,
Israeli.
it's not. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So I'm saying, so I made a whole album. I recorded a whole album, and I collaborated with a lot of people, and we established Tact Records, and it was all English.
Right.
And then I met some friends from Los Angeles, and they told me, listen, you gotta bust a little freestyle in Hebrew. Let us hear how it sounds like rapping in Hebrew. So I did it, and I did it in purpose to show them that it's not working well in Hebrew, don't flow well, and la la la. And they just went crazy. Like, you don't know what you just did.
You're going to change the game.
You're rapping in the holy language all the way from Israel. So I came back home, I was all like amazed that was my mission. And I started to like sit down and think, how can I break the code of rapping in Hebrew and making it sound as cool as American
and
rap.
Have that flow, because you know, like you were saying, American rappers, whatever they're speaking in English, and they have that flow.
So I had to really invent the alphabet of rapping in Hebrew, because just the most, I mean, if you just start a freestyle in English, you go microphone check one, I mean, whatever, somebody invented that. So I had to really think about all these phrases and then figure out I can use the slang, because usually musicians in Israel sing with a very high language.
And they sing.
Yeah, of course.
They're singing. You started the rap
But
game.
when I started rapping in Hebrew, I wrote in a very high language, like I'm writing a book or something. But then I figured out that I should write exactly the same way that I talk.
And that people can connect to. So how do you feel like you changed the music industry here in Israel? Because like you said, you pretty much invented Hebrew rapping, or the way that it was going to go about. So what do you feel like?
I think that actually my music changed a lot when it comes to Israeli fashion, because we came with a new sound. And we came with a new clothing style. And we came with a new language, new attitude. It was all new. So in the beginning, a lot of people didn't know how to react to us, but we came like, and we had an agenda, and we had a political agenda, and I had a big Magen David on my neck, and everybody was all like, who is this gangster? They didn't know how to even read what I'm trying to...
The gangster that's also talking about political issues and conflict and Zionism.
So I'm not, I mean, people didn't know how to react because they think they had in their mind, they had the American rap and that culture and those
violent
messages.
type, yeah.
Yeah, and we have our own swagger, but we talk about Israeli day-to-day life. Talk about being a youth in Tel Aviv, growing up in the Intifada time, had to go to the army, had to you know, learn how to fire weapons
right.
and protect
at age 18.
Protect, exactly, 17, and protect your family and protect your country and have discipline and grow up really fast. So the Israeli reality is really different. If you see a police officer running after somebody in the street, you're probably going to join in and help
right.
the police officer, because that somebody's probably a terrorist. So I feel like we have enough of reality of our own to talk about and be really real about. And I don't need to take the hip-hop characteristics of the American
right.
hip-hop. I'm not that Afro-American from the ghetto talking about my tough life. I'm that Israeli guy from Tel Aviv talking about my tough life. And
right.
it was real, and people really felt it. And the language was eye level, so people really understand it. And it really blew up from the year 2000 and on.
Till now, you're still blowing up.
Hip-hop really blowing up in Israel.
Right.
Grow stronger and stronger.
So you're saying, you know, you didn't want to bring too much of the American hip-hop and rap to Israel because you had your agenda and you had the things that you wanted to talk about. But do you have, you know, certain inspirations, certain people that really inspired you to?
Definitely. There's no way of hiding it. American hip-hop, American rap really influenced me.
Right.
I mean, my number one
inspiration
is the Notorious Big. I mean, when I heard his first album, Ready to Die, that was the minute that I knew that hip-hop would take a big part of my life forever, and I'm going to do this as a profession. But I've listened to all the beginning of rap, from NWA, first tapes, and to Big Daddy Kane and the LL Cool J's and Public Enemy and all that. And I went to I was influenced a lot by the sound of the West Coast gangster rap, because the production was so nice and the music was so soulful.
I have to represent East Coast, so.
And then I got to know all the Nas and the Wu-Tang and Biggie and Jay-Z and all that area of time, 92 till 95. I think that was the best years of hip-hop ever, and I was all into it, living it. So far away from America, I was on point with everything that was just released right now.
Definitely.
And it was amazing, because a lot of time when I had my own nightclubs in Tel Aviv, and a lot of time when Jewish people come to visit Israel in the summer, usually, so they will get to see the flyers or the posters we have for our club, and then they came and they saw and they heard all the fresh music that was just released a week ago in New York or in Los Angeles, and they were shocked.
Shocked that it was here in Israel.
Yeah, it was here in Israel, and we had our own movement. We called it TACT Crew, Tel Aviv City Team, and we had our own nightclub, so we built our own stage so we can perform.
Right.
We had our
and that's
own.
where people got to know you.
Exactly. We had our own studio so we can record our music, and we even had our own radio show. So it was our first.
You guys were taking over the music industry
here.
Yeah,
nobody played this on the radio, so I just hosted a radio show and started playing my stuff.
I love radio.
So yeah, it was a little ghetto, but people got onto it, and then it really blew up in Israel.
Right.
The second that I was released from the army, that was the year 2000.
That's where you were like, this is my time, this is what I want to do.
I had the whole plan ready, and everybody was on their mark. And
so let's say, you know, young kids that are interested in being in the music industry and interested in getting in that field, do you have any advice for them? Any advice for...
My first advice would always be, don't ever stop.
Okay.
Because...
I thought you were going to say, don't ever start.
No, don't ever stop, because I can't express how many times, how many days of my life I was on that feeling that tomorrow is gonna happen.
Right.
The first album would be dropped next month. I was with that next month for 10 years. It was next month, and I never stopped. And so, my crew, this TACT team, TACT Tel Aviv City team, changed, and I had people getting tired and in and out, and people died on the way, and people left the country, and people left music, and I was there doing my thing, and okay, so we had to build a studio to make it sound right, and we had to build a stage. Okay, so we open a club. Okay, that's not that easy. We need to learn how to make a club happen
and work and promote it, and there's so much involved,
and to win all the competition. And then when we do that, let's have a show. Okay, that's still not working. Let's make a good show. Let's make people want to come and see this show. And then nobody play it on the radio. Okay, so what do we need? We need
and there was no
show.
social media back there. So imagine the difference that it could have made having social media.
I mean, just think, I had a street team.
Right.
We call it grassroots, BTL, below the line, Tel Aviv street team. So it was not from Tel Aviv. We made a meeting once a month. It was 200 people came from all over Israel, and they would take cassettes, CDs, stickers, flyers, hats. I remember we made like this logos with a spray can, and we gave them they came back to their city with bag full of presents.
Like there's no missing us.
Yeah, and it was like a military. There was commanders. They were in charge of their own team. Schools, hotels, beaches, shopping malls, whatever. Everyone was in charge of his own territory, and that was the street team. Today you can just post on Facebook media. and that's it.
Yeah. And so you have a new song coming out, right?
Yeah.
Tell us a little about it.
I have a new song coming out. I'm really excited because in the last year I'm all into Afrobeat and African music, and it really swiped me out of my feet, and I'm about to finish an Afrobeat album. So the first single that I released is called Let the Music Talk. And it just hit over 30 million views on YouTube.
It's insanity.
And I have crazy feedback from very big artists from all over the globe. So it's fantastic. And my next single that I'm supposed to drop really soon, his name is Doing What I Wanna. And it's a little bit more hardcore-ish. Right. I mean, I'm going back to my hip-hop roots, but the beat is Afrobeat, Afro trap.
And the clip's amazing. I won't say anything about it because I got a sneak preview, but it was gorgeous. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
Yeah, and the sound is a little bit mixing a little bit more electronic music into the Afrobeat, which usually is more I don't know, live-ish and warm. So this time it's a little bit more for the clubs. And I'm really looking forward to release that because I've been working on it for so long.
I can't wait for people to hear it, people to see what I saw, and I'm sure it's going to blow up just like the rest of it. So thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate it. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
And joke's on us that you thought that you can't speak English, because that's insanity. So there you have it, people, the one and only Subliminal. Make sure you're watching out for when Kobe drops his next big hit, because trust me, you definitely want to see this.